Part 17, Chapter 21, The Prophets. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. The reckoning for humanity is near, while they are ones who turn aside in heedlessness. Approaches them not a remembrance from their Lord, that which was renewed, but they listen to it while they play, being ones whose hearts are diverted, and they kept secret, conspiring secretly those who did wrong. Is this other than a mortal like you? Then will you approach sorcery while you perceive? He said, My Lord knows the saying in the heavens and the earth, and he is the hearing, the knowing. Nay, they said jumbled nightmares. Nay, he has but devised it. Nay, he is but a poet. Let him bring us a sign as the ancient ones were sent. No town had believed before them of those we have caused to perish. Will they then believe? And we sent not before you, but men to whom we reveal, so ask the people of the remembrance, if you have not been knowing. And we made them not bodies that ate not food, nor had they been ones who will dwell forever. After that we were sincere in the promise, so we rescued them and those whom we will. We caused the ones who were excessive to perish. Surely we have sent forth to you a book in which is your remembrance. Will you not then be reasonable? How many a town have we damaged that had been one that was unjust, and caused to grow after them another folk? Then when they were conscious of our might, that is when they made haste from it. Make not haste, but return to what you were given of ease in it, and to your dwellings, so that perhaps you are asked. They said, Oh, woe to us! Truly we have been ones who are unjust. Then truly those they continued calling out until we made them as stubble, once silent and stilled, and we created not the heavens and the earth and what is between them as once in play. Had we wanted, we would have taken some diversion. We would take it to ourselves from that which proceeds from our presence, if we had been ones who do so. Nay, we hurl the truth against falsehood, so it prevails over it. That is when falsehood is that which vanishes, and woe to you for what you allege. And to him belongs whatever is in the heavens and the earth, and those who are with him, they grow not arrogant to worship him, nor they become weary. They glorify him nighttime and daytime. They never decrease. Or have they taken gods to themselves from the earth, they, ones who revive the dead? Had there been gods in it other than God, certainly both would have gone to ruin. Then glory be to God, Lord of the throne, high above what they allege. He will not be asked as to what he accomplishes, but they will be asked. Or have they taken gods to themselves other than he? Say, prepare your proof. This is a remembrance for such a one who is with me, and a remembrance for those who were before me. Nay, most of them know not the truth, so they are ones who turn aside. And we sent not before thee any messenger, but we revealed to him that there is no God but I, so worship me. And they say, The Merciful has taken to himself a son. Glory be to him. Nay, they were honored servants. They precede him not in saying, and they act by his command. He knows what is in advance of them and what is behind them, and they intercede not but for him with whom he is content. And they, from being ones who are apprehensive of him, are ones in dread. And whoever says of them, Truly I am a god other than he, then we will give recompense to him with hell. Thus we give recompense to the ones who are unjust. Have not those who are ungrateful considered that the heavens and the earth had been interwoven, and we unstitched them, and we have made every living thing of water? Will they then not believe? And we have made firm mountains on the earth, so that it should not vibrate with them. and we made in it ravines as ways, so that perhaps they would be truly guided. And we have made heaven as a guarded roof, yet they are ones who turn aside from its signs. And it is he who has created the nighttime and the daytime, the sun and the moon, each swimming in orbit. And we assigned not to any mortal before thee immortality. If thou wert to die, will they be ones who dwell forever? Every soul will be one that experiences death, and we will try you with a chastisement and good as a test, and to us you return. And when those who were ungrateful saw thee, they take thee to themselves, not but in mockery. Is this the one who mentions your gods? And they, for remembrance of the merciful, they are ones who are ungrateful. The human being was created of haste. I will cause you to see my signs, so seek not to hasten. And they say, when will this promise be, if you have been ones who are sincere? If those who were ungrateful but know the time when they will not limit the fire from their faces nor their backs, and they will not be helped. Nay, it will approach them suddenly, then it will dumbfound them, so they will not be able to repel it, nor will they be given respite. And certainly messengers were ridiculed before thee. Then those who derided them were surrounded by what they had been ridiculing. Say, who will guard you in the nighttime and the daytime from the merciful? Nay, they from the remembrance of their Lord are ones who turn aside. Or have they gods who can secure them from us? They are neither able to help themselves, nor will they be rendered safe from us. Nay, we gave enjoyment to their fathers until their lifetime was long for them. They considered not that we approach the earth. We reduce it of its outlying parts. Then will they be the ones who are the victors? Say, I warn you only by the revelation, but those unwilling to hear will not hear the supplication when they are warned. And if a breath were to afflict them of punishment of thy Lord, they would surely say, Oh, woe to us! Truly, we have been ones who are unjust. And we will lay down the balances of equity on the day of resurrection. Then wrong will not be done to any soul at all. And even if it had been the weight of a grain of a mustard seed, we will bring it. And we have sufficed as ones who reckon. And certainly we gave Moses and Aaron the criterion between right and wrong, an illumination and a remembrance for the ones who are God-fearing, those who dread their Lord in the unseen, while they are ones who are apprehensive of the hour. This is a blessed remembrance that we have sent forth. Are you then ones who know not of it? Certainly we gave Abraham his right judgment before, and we had been ones who have knowledge of him when he said to his father and his folk, What are these images to which you be ones who give yourselves up to? They said, We found our fathers as ones who are worshippers of them. He said, Certainly you and your fathers had been in a clear wandering astray. They said, Hast thou drawn near the truth, or art thou of the ones who play? He said, Nay, your Lord is the Lord of the heavens and the earth, who originated them. And I am of the ones who bear witness to this. And by God, I will contrive against your idols after you have turned as ones who draw back. So he made them broken pieces, but the greatest of them, so that perhaps they would return to it. They said, Who has accomplished this with our gods? Truly, he is of the ones who are unjust. They said, We heard a male youth mention them. It is said he is Abraham. They said, Then approach with him before the eyes of personages, so that perhaps they would bear witness. They said, Hast thou accomplished this with our gods, O Abraham? He said, Nay, it was accomplished by the greatest of them, this. So ask them if they had been speaking for themselves. So they returned to one another. Then they said, Truly you are the ones who are unjust. They were put into confusion. Certainly thou knewest that these speak not for themselves. He said, Worship you then other than God, what neither profits you nor hurts you at all? Fie on you on what you worship other than God. Will you not then be reasonable? They said, Burn him and help your gods if you have been ones who do so. We said, O fire, be coolness and peace for Abraham. And they wanted to use cunning against him, but we made them the ones who are losers. And we delivered him and Lot to the region which we have blessed for the worlds, and we bestowed Isaac on him and Jacob as an unexpected gift. And we made both of them ones who are in accord with morality, and we made them leaders, guiding by our command. And we revealed to them the accomplishing of good works, and the performing of the formal prayer, and the giving of the purifying alms, and they had been ones who worship us. And to Lot we gave critical judgment and knowledge, and we delivered him from the town which had been doing deeds of corruption. Truly, they had been a morally evil folk, ones who disobey. And we caused him to enter into our mercy. Truly, he is of ones who are in accord with morality. And mention Noah when he cried out before, and we responded to him. And we delivered him and his people from the tremendous distress, and we helped him against the folk who denied our signs. Truly, they had been a morally evil folk. So we drowned them, one and all. And mention David and Solomon when they give judgment about cultivation, when a herd of the sheep of his folk had strayed. And to their critical judgment we have been ones who bear witness. So we caused Solomon to understand it, and we gave each of them critical judgment and knowledge. And we caused to become subservient to David the mountains and the birds to glorify God. And we had been ones who do such things. We taught him the art of making garments of chainmail for you to fortify you from your violence. Will you then be ones who are thankful? And to Solomon the windstorm running by his command toward the earth which we have blessed. We are ones who have knowledge of everything, and among the Satans were some who dived for him and do acts other than that, and we had been ones who guard over them. And Job, when he cried out to his Lord, Truly harm has afflicted me, and thou art one who is most merciful of the ones who are merciful. So we responded to him. Then we removed his harm, and we gave him back his people, and the like of others with them as a mercy from us, and as a reminder to ones who worship. And Ishmael and Idris and Zulkifl, all were of the ones who remained steadfast, and we caused them to enter into our mercy. They were the ones who are in accord with morality. And Jonah, when he went as one who was enraged, and thought that we would never have power over him. Truly, I have been of the ones who are unjust. So we responded to him, and we delivered him from the lament. And thus we rescue the ones who believe. And mention Zechariah when he cried out to his Lord, My Lord, forsake me not without an heir, and thou art the best of the ones who inherit. So we responded to him, and we bestowed John on him. And we made things right for his spouse and for him. Truly, they had been competing with one another in good works, and they would call to us with yearning and reverence, and they had been ones who are humbled before us. And she who guarded her private parts, then we breathed into her our spirit, and we made her and her son a sign for the worlds. Truly this, your community, is one community, and I am your Lord, so worship me. But they have cut asunder their affair between them, yet all of them are ones who return to us. So whoever is one who acts in accord with morality, and he is one who believes, then his endeavoring will not be rejected, and truly we will inscribe it for him. And there is a ban on the town that we have caused to perish. They will not return until Gog and Magog were to be let loose, and they slide down from every slope. And the true promise is near. That is when they, glazed over, will be the sight of those who were ungrateful. Oh, woe to us! Surely we had been in heedlessness of this. Nay, we had been ones who are unjust. Truly you and what you worship other than God are fuel material for hell. You are the ones who go down to it. If these had been gods, they would never have gone down to it. All are ones who will dwell in it forever. There will be sobbing in it for them, and they will not hear in it. Truly, those to whom there has proceeded fairness from us, those are the ones who are far removed from it. They will not hear even the low sound of it, and they, in that for which their souls lusted, will be ones who will dwell in it forever. The greater terror will not dishearten them, and the angels will admit them. This is your day that you had been promised. On a day when we roll up the heavens like the rolled up written scrolls of manuscripts, as we began the first creation, we will cause it to return. It is a promise from us. Truly, we have been ones who do. And certainly we have written down in the Psalms after the remembrance that the earth will be inherited by my servants, the ones who are in accord with morality. Truly, in this is the delivering of this message for the folk, ones who worship. And we have not sent thee but as a mercy for the worlds. Say, it is only revealed to me that your God is one God. Will then you be ones who submit? But if they turn away, then say, I have proclaimed to you all equally, and I was not informed whether what you are promised is near or far. Truly, he knows the openly published saying, and he knows what you keep back. And I was not informed, so that perhaps it would be a test for you, and an enjoyment for a while. He said, My Lord, give judgment between us with the truth, and our Lord is the merciful, he whose help is being sought against what you allege. Chapter 22, The Pilgrimage. In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. O humanity, be God-fearing of your Lord. Truly, the earthquake of the hour is a tremendous thing. On a day you will see it. Everyone who is breastfeeding will be negligent of whoever she breastfed, and every pregnant woman will bring forth a fetus, and thou shalt see humanity as intoxicated, yet they will not be intoxicated, but the punishment of God will be severe. And among humanity is he who disputes about God without knowledge, and follows every rebel Satan. It was written down about him that whoever turned away, truly he will cause him to go astray, and will guide him to the punishment of the blaze. O humanity, if you have been in doubt about the uprising, truly we created you from earth dust, and after that from seminal fluid, and after that from a clot, and after that from tissue that was formed and that was not formed, so that we may make it manifest to you. We establish in the wombs whom we will for a term that was determined, and after that we bring you out as infant children, and after that you may reach the coming of age, and among you there is he whom death calls to itself, and among you there is he who is returned to the most wretched lifetime, so that he knows not anything after some knowledge. And you see the earth lifeless, yet when we send forth water on it, it quivers and it swells, and puts forth every lovely pair. That is because God, he is the truth, and it is he who gives life to the dead, and he is powerful over everything. And truly the hour is one that arrives. There is no doubt about it, and that God will raise up those who are in the graves. And among humanity is such a one who disputes about God without knowledge, nor guidance, nor an illuminating book, turning to his side as one who turns away to cause to go astray from the way of God. For him in the present is degradation, and we will cause him to experience on the day of resurrection the punishment of the burning. That is because of what thy 2 hands have put forward, and truly God is not unjust to his servants. And among humanity is he who worships God on the fringes. If good lit on him, he is at rest with it, and if a test lit on him, he turns completely over. He loses the present and the world to come. That it is the clear loss. He calls to other than God what neither hurts him nor profits him. That is a far wandering astray. He calls to him whose hurting is nearer than his profiting. How miserable was the defender, and how miserable is the acquaintance. Truly God will cause to enter those who have believed, and the ones who act in accord with morality, gardens beneath which rivers run. Truly God accomplishes what he wants. Whoever has been thinking that God will never help him, the messenger, in the present and in the world to come, let him stretch out a cord to heaven, then let him sever it. Then let him look on whether his cunning has caused to be put away what enrages him. And thus we sent forth as signs clear portents, and that God guides whom he wants. Truly, those who have believed, and those who became Jews, and the Sabians, and the Christians, and the Zoroastrians, and those who ascribe partners, truly God will distinguish between them on the day of resurrection. Truly God over everything is a witness. Hast thou not considered that to God prostrates to him whoever is in the heavens, and whoever is in and on the earth, and the sun, and the moon, and the stars, the mountains, the trees, and the moving creatures, and many of humanity, and many there are on whom the punishment will be realized, and he whom God despises, then there is none who honors him. Truly, God accomplishes what he wills. These 2 disputants strove against one another about their Lord. Then, for those who were ungrateful, garments of fire will be cut out for them. Over their heads scalding water will be unloosed. What is in their bellies will be melted by it into their skins, and for them are maces of iron. Whenever they want to go forth from there because of lament, they will be caused to return to it and experience the punishment of burning. Truly, God will cause to enter those who have believed, and ones who act in accord with morality, gardens beneath which rivers run. They were adorned in them with bracelets of gold and pearls, and their garments in it will be of silk. And they were guided to what is good of the saying, and they were guided to the path of him who is worthy of praise. Truly those who were ungrateful and bar from the way of God and from the Masjid al-Haram, which we have made open for humanity, equal for the ones who give themselves up as visitors, and the ones who are desert dwellers, and whoever wants to violate it with injustice, we will cause him to experience a painful punishment. And mention when we placed Abraham in the place of the house, that thou hast ascribest nothing as partners with me, and purify my house for the ones who circumambulate it, and for the ones who are standing up, and the ones who bow down, and the ones who prostrate themselves. Announce to humanity the pilgrimage to Mecca. They will approach thee on foot and on every thin camel. They will approach from every deep ravine, that they may bear witness to what profits them, and remember the name of God on known days over whatever he has provided them from flocks of animals. Then eat of it, and feed the ones who are in misery and the poor. After that, let them finish their ritual uncleanliness, and live up to their vows, and circumambulate the ancient house. That has been commanded. Whoever holds the sacred things of God in honor, then that is better for him with his Lord. And to be permitted to you are the flocks, except what will be recounted to you, so avoid the disgrace of graven images, and avoid saying the untruth. Turn to God as monotheists, not with him as ones who are polytheists. And whoever ascribes partners with God, it is as if he had fallen down from heaven, and the birds snatch him, or the wind hurls him to ruin in a place far away. That has been commanded. Whoever holds the waymarks of God in honor, then it is truly from hearts filled with God consciousness. For you in that is what profits for a term that was determined. After that, their place of sacrifice is at the ancient house. And for every community we have assigned devotional acts, that they may remember the name of God over what we have provided them of flocks of animals. And your God is one God. Submit to him, and give good tidings to the ones who humble themselves. Those, when God was remembered, their hearts took notice, and the ones who remain steadfast against whatever may light on them, and the ones who perform the formal prayer, and who spend out of what we have provided them. We have made for you the beasts of sacrifice among the waymarks of God. You have in them much good, so remember the name of God over them, ones who are standing in ranks. Then, when they collapse on their sides, eat from them, and feed the ones who are paupers, and the ones who were poor persons who do not beg. Thus we have caused them to be subservient to you, so that perhaps you would give thanks. Neither their flesh nor their blood attains to God, but your God-consciousness attains him. Thus he caused them to be subservient to you, that you might magnify God in that he has guided you, and give good tidings to the ones who are doers of good. Truly, God defends those who have believed. Truly, God loves not anyone who is an ungrateful betrayer. Permission was given to those who are to be fought against, because they were wronged. And truly, God has the power to help them, those who were driven out from their abodes without right, because they say, Our Lord is God. If not for God driving back humanity some by some other, cloisters would be demolished, and churches and synagogues, and places of prostration in which is remembered in it the name of God frequently. Truly, God will help those who help him. Truly, God is strong, almighty. Those who, if we established them firmly on the earth, they performed the formal prayer, and gave the purifying alms, and they commanded to that which is moral, and they prohibited that which is immoral, and with God is the ultimate end of the command. And if they deny thee, surely the folk of Noah had denied before, and Ad, and Thalmud, and the folk of Abraham, and the folk of Lot, and the companions of Midian. And Moses was to be denied, but I granted indulgence to the ones who are ungrateful. After that I took them, and how had been my disapproval? And how many a town have we caused to perish, while they were ones who were unjust, so that now it is fallen down in ruins, and how much well water ignored, and a tall palace. Journey they not through the earth? Have they not hearts to be reasonable, or ears to hear with them? Truly, it is not their sight that is in darkness, but their hearts that are in darkness, which are within their breasts. And seek they to hasten the punishment? And God never breaks his promise. And truly, a day with thy Lord is as 1,000 years of what you number. How many a town I have granted indulgence, while it was one that was unjust. After that I took it, and to me was the homecoming. Say, O humanity, truly I am only a clear warner to you. So those who have believed and ones who have acted in accord with morality, for them is forgiveness and a generous provision. And those who endeavored against our signs, the ones who strive to thwart, those are the companions of hellfire. And we sent not before thee any messenger nor prophet, but when he fantasized, Satan cast fantasies into him. But God nullifies what Satan casts. After that, God set clear his signs, and God is knowing, wise. For he makes what Satan casts a test for those whose hearts are sick, and their hearts hardened, and truly the ones who are unjust are in a wide breach. And those who are given knowledge know that it is the truth from thy Lord, so that they may believe in it, and humble their hearts to him. And truly God is the one who guides those who have believed to a straight path. And those who were ungrateful continue to be hesitant about it until the hour approaches them suddenly, or the punishment approaches on a withering day. On that day the dominion will belong to God. He will give judgment between them. So those who have believed and the ones who act in accord with morality will be in gardens of bliss. And those who were ungrateful and denied our signs, for them will be a despised punishment. And those who immigrated in the way of God, then they were slain or died, certainly God will provide them a fair provision. And truly God, it is he who truly is the best of ones who provide. Certainly he will cause them to enter a gate with which they will be well pleased. And truly God is certainly knowing, forbearing. That is so. And whoever chastises for injustice with the like of what he was chastised, and after that again is wronged, God will certainly help him. Truly God is pardoning, forgiving. That is because God causes the nighttime to be interposed into the daytime, and he causes the daytime to be interposed into the nighttime. And truly God is hearing, seeing. That is because God, he is the truth, and what they call to other than him, it is falsehood, and that God, he is the lofty, the great. Hast thou not considered that God sends forth water from heaven, and the earth becomes green? Truly, God is subtle, aware. To him belongs whatever is in the heavens, and whatever is in and on the earth. And truly God, he is the sufficient, the worthy of praise. Hast thou not considered that God has caused to be subservient to you what is in and on the earth? And the boats run through the sea by his command, and he holds back the heaven, so that it not fall on the earth, but by his permission. Truly, to humanity God is gentle, compassionate. And it is he who gave you life, and after that he will cause you to die, and after that he will give you life again. Truly, the human being is ungrateful. For every community we have assigned devotional acts, so that they be ones who perform rites. So let them not bicker with you in the command. And call thou to thy Lord. Truly, thou art on a guidance, that which is straight. And if they disputed with thee, then say, God is greater in knowledge about what you do. God will give judgment among you on the day of resurrection about what you had been at variance in it. Knowest thou not that God knows what is in the heaven and the earth? Truly, that is in a book. Truly, that is easy for God. And they worship other than God, that for which he has not sent down any authority, and of what they have no knowledge. And there is no helper for the ones who are unjust. And when our signs are recounted to them, clear portents, thou shalt recognize on the faces of those who were ungrateful rejection. They are about to rush upon those who recount our signs to them. Say, shall I tell you of worse than that? God has promised the fire to those who were ungrateful. and how miserable the homecoming. O humanity, a parable is propounded, so listen to it. Truly, those whom you call to other than God will never create a fly, even though they be gathered together for it. And if the fly were to rob them of something, they would never seek to deliver it from the fly. Weak are the ones who are seekers and the ones who are sought. They have not duly measured the measure of God. Truly God is strong, almighty. God favors from the angels, messengers, and from humanity. Truly God is hearing, seeing. He knows what is in advance of them and what is behind them, and to God all affairs return. O those who have believed, bow down and prostrate yourselves, and worship your Lord, and accomplish good, so that perhaps you would prosper, and struggle for the sake of God in a true struggling. He has elected you, and has not made for you in your way of life any impediment. It is the creed of your father Abraham. It is he who named you the ones who submit before and in this recitation, so that perhaps the messenger is a witness against you, and you are witnesses against humanity. So perform the formal prayer, and give the purifying alms, and cleave firmly to God. He is your defender. How excellent a defender, and how excellent a helper!